Welcome back, folks, for another fun reloading video here. Today we're just pumping out some 9mm here, starting a long list of procrastinated winter projects that I should have been working on so far. I've been slacking, but today we're doing 9mm. We've got Fiocchi small pistol primers. We're using Winchester 244 powder. And we have these beautiful Summit City bullets, 124 grain round nose. We're sitting right at 1.115 overall length. And that's all there is to it. We've got a nice taper crimp just to close up that expansion. We're here on the Dillon 550. And I'm really just about out of these bullets here before I switch to the next one. But essentially, I have several samples here to run through, about 100 to 200 or so pieces per sample. So, got a bunch of reviewing to do, a lot of work here. Going to be doing a lot of testing here. I'm going to be doing, multiple identical weight bullets, and then moving on up and up, higher and heavier and heavier. And between the different brands and whatnot, we're going to be using the same powder charge, which I've been doing research, and they're all within the safe parameters. Nice, safe middle load charges. Nothing too fancy. But once we get a nice, good range day, I'll be able to chronograph them and, I want to say, shoot for groups, but when I'm offhand with a crappy red dot or, whatever, you're not really shooting for groups. It's just how well is dummy shooting on that given day. But I might drag the table out and try and figure out some way to, support it and shoot a little more accurately from the 25-yard line. You know what I'm saying? But, man, I've got this thing dialed in so smooth right now. It's just working like butter. It probably helps that I've already processed my brass. You can see our primer pockets are already decapped. We've got the tumbled media stuck in there. No big deal. That comes out as soon as you run back up through the size die. It's not getting resized, but it is going to punch out any of that media. And if I, for some reason, missed a case, it will make sure that it is resized. But all this range brass has been swaged because there's NATO crap mixed in there. Like this one exactly right here, like I'm talking about. You can see this Winchester case has that nice crimp ring around it, but I have swaged it. So we don't need to worry about, repriming. Because, watch this, we come back down to prime on the forward stroke. Oh my god, it was so smooth. And there we are. Brand new Fiocchi small pistol primer, just like new. Fucking beautiful. Can I say that on YouTube anymore? Oh, or ever. Could you ever say that? Sorry, pardon my French. But yeah, we've got our Lee carbide sizing die up front, followed by the Dillon powder die with our case-activated powder drop. And then we move over to our seating die. That is just the RCBS taper crimp cedar combo, but it's been backed out to where it is only seating our bullets. And we have our round nose seating stem in there as to not booger up our tips. You don't want boogers on your tips. And then over here to crimp, we have the Lee carbide factory crimp die. And that goes ahead and smooths out the entire length of your new case. Which helps if you get any of those, I don't know, it just smooths things out more than, say, your standard taper crimp would. Not to say that a standard taper crimp is bad, but I've gotten good results from this, and I like it, so I'm going to continue to use it. Redding also makes one. Dylan makes a version of it. So it's not a specific thing for Lee. They just happen to sell a very cheap version of it, and it works for me. They also have a bulge buster conversion kit, I believe, that you can push your brass through, much like the bullet sizing dies, except with brass that came out of an unsupported chamber you might have picked up at the range. So if you shoot like an old Gen 1 or 2 or 3 Glock, I think, are the bad ones, you can always bulge bust your brass to bring that back into spec, and you don't have to worry about buying a multiple $1,000 roll crimp machine or having to worry about buying new brass or whatever, because you can bust them bulges on your own. But yeah, this thing is running smooth as heck. We're dropping exactly 4 grains of powder. We got her nice and oiled up. I used some graphite lube on some of the dry parts, and that's working perfectly. Namely just the bar here where the primer arm comes in and out, and then up here on the powder measure. Those are running just beautifully. I've only got a few left here, but we might have 100 or so rounds to play with. So thanks again to Summit City Bullets. Make sure to go and check them out. Tell them old DR sent you. Ooh, that case there felt like it was one of those brass-plated steel cases. You know what I'm talking about? Obviously they resize and you can reload them and everything, but they just feel very tough. Yeah, no big deals there. Sometimes they spring back or don't expand enough, and they'll scrape your bullets a little bit during the seating process, but other than that, you know, they're generally not too big of a worry, if at all. And let's take a look at this next case coming out. It had a boogered up mouth. But it actually, okay, yeah, here we are. So this kind of got a little boogered up somewhere. Might have just got smashed at the range or something along those lines. And now it went through that factory carbide crimp die, and it's actually been smoothed over. It's way worse looking than it actually is. And it'll still headspace and fire, so old dummy don't care none. Yes, I realize there's several thousand pounds of pressure exploding in my hand, near my face potentially. But, you know, thug life. Just don't come out to the range that day when we're shooting this bag of ammo. And you don't gotta worry about it none. I'm just kidding. Safety first, fellers. I'm just not worried about it because I've shot a few things like that before for testing purposes, and it was totally fine. So we have one more bullet left. Here's our last one. Shoo. There we are. Oh yeah. There it is. And there we are with a nice helping of some fresh off the press 9mm Luger. Thanks again to Summit City Bullets for sending those out to the channel. We're going to get out to the range and test those as soon as we get a nice weekend here soon. But thanks again for hanging out, folks, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Have a good one.